What I am trying to do, and I have given a call again and again, to globalize compassion. And that compassion has been defined, has been practiced, and has been preached by Lord Buddha for so many years. My brother or my neighbor or my friend, Nepal. So I started working on this issue here in Nepal as well. And later on I came to know that a large number of children were trafficked to work in carpet industry, then in brothels and circuses and other places. So when I started rescuing them, that brought me another deeper emotional bonding and association with the people of Nepal.
Tough Talk.
This country has tremendous wealth. The wealth of wisdom, the wealth of traditions, culture, the wealth of humanity, and the wealth of young people. Now, of course, this is the phase where the country and the politicians especially have to make a prompt decision of making the constitution and finalizing the constitution. I have been the part of pro-democracy movement of Nepal, and once I was arrested in India, in Delhi, for organizing a demonstration for democracy, and I hope that this country will go for that, because the future of the children cannot be protected without having stability in the governance.
Tough Talk.
So I immediately decided, asked my friends, get prepared, go to rescue those people. And then this man took out his gun. He wanted to kill me. Somehow, someone from your fraternity, a media person and a cameraman, was running a camera in the back. And the police, local police who was connived with the employer, with the circus mafia, just given him a signal that, look at the media, you are creating evidence while you are killing Kailash. But the man was so angry, he told his people to finish me and kill me. So me, my son and some of the mothers of Nepalese mothers who went all the way from Hithoda and other places, they were lying on the streets. And the blood of those mothers, the blood of my own son and my own blood, everything was mixed on the streets. And these bloods never go waste. Sometimes they turn to be the Nobel Peace Prize.
True. But you need to have that courage.
Tough Talk with Dil Bhusan Pathak.
आदरणीय दर्शकवृन्द, नमस्ते। कार्यक्रम टफ टकको आजको अङ्कमा म दिलभूषण पाठक तपाईँ लगायत सबै दर्शकलाई हार्दिक स्वागत गर्दछु। दर्शकवृन्द, 24 वर्षदेखि बाल अधिकारको क्षेत्रमा लागिपरेका कैलाश सत्यार्थीले नोबेल शान्ति पुरस्कार पाएदेखि उनको नेपाली साइनोको सोधखोज भइरहेको छ। सत्यार्थीले भारतमा बचपन बचाओ आन्दोलन मार्फत 80,000 भन्दा धेरै बालबालिकालाई कठोर श्रमबाट मुक्ति दिलाएका छन्। बाल श्रमबाट उद्धार गरिएका बालबालिकाको पुनर्वास तथा शिक्षामा रातो दिन लागिपरेका सत्यार्थीले विभिन्न भारतीय शहरबाट श्रम गर्न बाध्य बनाइएका सयौं नेपाली बालबालिकालाई पनि उद्धार गरेका छन्। पेसाले इलेक्ट्रिकल इन्जिनियर सत्यार्थीले 26 वर्षको उमेरमै आफ्नो इन्जिनियरिङ क्यारियर त्यागेर बालबालिकाको क्षेत्रमा काम सुरु गरेका हुन्। आज उनै सत्यार्थीसँग मैले नोबेल शान्ति पुरस्कारसम्मको उनको यात्राबारे जान्ने कोसिस गरेको छु। हामीले बालबालिकालाई कस्तो संसार र कस्तो संस्कार दिने सत्यार्थीकै मुखबाट। नमस्ते मिस्टर सत्यार्थी।
Namaste.
It's great honor to have you in this show, and thank you for coming and congratulations for this big achievement.
My pleasure as well.
So, how do you feel to be in the birthplace of Lord Gautam Buddha?
I have learned from his teachings from my childhood, because I belong to a place called Vidisha, That happened to be the place of birth of Lord Ashoka's or Emperor Ashoka's two children, Mahendra and Sanghamitra. And they were among the first Bauddha bhikshus who traveled across India for spreading Buddhist teachings. So, and Sanchi, the stupas of Sanchis are in my town or close to my town, 6 kilometers away from my birthplace. So I feel very honored, because what I am trying to do for so many years is to translate and transform compassion into social movement. What I am trying to do, and I have given a call again and again, to globalize compassion. And that compassion has been defined, has been practiced, and has been preached by Lord Buddha for so many years.
Interesting. And unfortunately, in these particular regions, the children are more in vulnerable situation.
Of course, Nepal has also been one of my workplaces or field of my activities since 1982 or so.
Great.
So it is not just that I started working in India and forgot my brother or my neighbor or my friend Nepal. So I started working on this issue here in Nepal as well. And later on I came to know that a large number of children were trafficked to work in carpet industry, then in brothels and circuses and other places. So when I started rescuing them, that brought me another deeper emotional bonding and association with the people of Nepal.
Yes, your organization rescued hundreds of children from different circus places and factories in India. And yesterday you met the Prime Minister, former Prime Minister, you met ministers, you met different officials from National Planning Commission, you met a lot of child rights activists. What did you find in them? Are they really committed? Are they really serious with the issues that we have in this region?
I hope so, that this country has tremendous wealth. The wealth of wisdom, the wealth of traditions, culture, the wealth of humanity, and the wealth of young people. Now, of course, this is the phase where the country and the politicians especially have to make a prompt decision of making the constitution and finalizing the constitution. I have been the part of pro-democracy movement of Nepal, and once I was arrested in India, in Delhi, for organizing a demonstration for democracy, I think in late 80s or early 90s, something like that, early 90s. So I remember those days, and that's why I make a very earnest appeal to all members of the Constituent Committee Assembly to finalize the constitution, because stability, political stability and the stability in governance are the basis of many things, including development, functional and vibrant democracy, human freedom and dignity. So these things are very much needed, and I hope that this country will go for that, because the future of the children cannot be protected without having stability in the governance.
True. Let me share you one fact that it's about children. In last year, data says like 1,400 children were missing. They were lost, and among 5 of them, 2 of the children are never found. Childs are never found.
Actually, this notion or connotation of missing children sometimes is very misleading. The children from India or from Nepal or from Pakistan or from any other country in Latin America, Africa, when they are called missing, they are not disappearing in thin air. Eventually they have to eat in the evening, they have to sleep somewhere. So who is behind it? It is the organized crime behind it. The children are stolen, abducted, trafficked for various purposes. The children are abducted and stolen for child prostitution, child forced labor, child bonded labor. Sometimes the children are used for organ sale also.
Yeah.
So these kind of things are proven facts now. So once we say that children are missing, they become the victims of an organized crime already. Then we have to tackle that crime very rigorously.
I liked your line. You said it's not poverty that creates child labor, but it's child labor maintained poverty.
Yeah, I have been propagating, in fact, trying to practice and establish a very fundamental principle about a triangular paradigm, what we call. There is a correlation between child labor, poverty, and illiteracy. These three things form a vicious circle and form a kind of cause and consequence relationship, or a chicken and egg relationship. If you allow child labor to continue, you allow poverty to continue. Globally, we have 168 million children in full-time jobs, and 200 million adults are jobless. And we have researched who are these children. These children belong to the parents who are kept jobless, because children are the cheapest source of labor, or sometimes free laborers. The second thing is also the illiteracy. We are living in an age of knowledge economy. We cannot think of economic growth or sustainable economic growth or eradication of poverty without ensuring good quality education for all children. And child labor is one of the biggest impediment in receiving education and then good quality education. So that vicious circle has to be broken by attacking all these three problems simultaneously.
How satisfied are you with what you are doing? It must be a very tough fight. It must be a very tough fight.
All the fights are tough fight. If you are fighting, then it's tough. If you are walking on an easy rope and everything is easy for you, then you won't call it fight. I love to accept those challenges which are hidden, which are unknown sometimes. But once they become visible, then of course you have to prepare for any kind of...
I was trying to review some of the interviews, literatures that it's when you spoke about your experiences in different interviews. It must be very difficult to release. I should inform my audience that you released many children from different circus places and factories in India, and there was an incident when you was beaten to death, and when some of the circus swallows beat you to death, and when you asked for water, they didn't even give you a drop of water.
Yeah. Again, it's the fight, as you said before, and fight is always challenging.
I was trying to review some of the interviews, literatures that it's when you spoke about your experiences in different interviews. It must be very difficult to release. I should inform my audience that you released many children from different circus places and factories in India, and there was an incident when you was beaten to death, and when some of the circus swallows beat you to death, and when you asked for water, they didn't even give you a drop of water.
Yeah. Again, it's the fight, as you said before, and fight is always challenging. And for instance, in circuses, once a father and some of other people approached me, some mothers also, and they sold out their belongings to come all the way to India, and they have only one hope in their life to get their children back, and that was me. Then when they were talking to me how their children were missing or kidnapped or stolen or trafficked to work in circus, I was feeling that they are my own children. I cannot wait 1 minute. I have to act now. And that sense of urgency was always in me and will remain always in me. So I immediately decided, asked my friends, get prepared, go to rescue those people. And then this man took out his gun. He wanted to kill me. Somehow, someone from your fraternity, a media person and a cameraman was running a camera in the back, and the police, local police who was connived with the employer, with the circus mafia, just given him a signal that, look at the media, you are creating evidence while you are killing Kailash. But the man was so angry, he told his people to finish me and kill me. So me, my son and some of the mothers of Nepalese mothers who went all the way from Hithoda and other places, they were lying on the streets. And the blood of those mothers, the blood of my own son and my own blood, everything was mixed on the streets. And these bloods never go waste. Sometimes they turn to be the Nobel Peace Prize.
True. But you need to have that courage. My next question was, where does this moral courage comes to change the world?
It's the children, I tell you. It's the parents of these children. The quest for freedom is so important that no slavery can stop it. And when you freedom in itself is tremendous power. It's divine. I say that freedom is divine and slavery is a man-made crime. Freedom is truth. So when you encounter with the freedom, when you experience freedom, when you internalize freedom on the faces of those children who never thought that they will ever go back and meet their parents, and the mothers who never thought that they can ever keep their children in their lap. And when the first tear of joy comes on the face of that mother, and the tear of joy and smile of freedom comes on the face of that child, one can see the God. And I'm very fortunate that I have witnessed the God in thousands of times in my life.
That's true.
And I never say that I free the children. I always say that these children are freeing me from inside.
Wow. Okay, I wish like you also tell the same story that you said in the Nobel lecture. It was very inspiring, and I wish like all my audience.
That is the last thing for.
It's about the bird you know who can contribute, how you can contribute in the process.
Yeah, that is a story I read in my childhood, and I always kept it close to my heart. There was a heavy fire broken out in the jungle, and everybody was running to save all the animals, including the king of the jungle, lion. And he suddenly saw that a bird was running straight towards the fire. So in surprise he asked, "What are you doing? You are killing yourself?" She said, "I'm going to extinguish that fire." He laughed at her, to the tiny bird, and said that you are a tiny bird. You are having a drop of, just one single drop of water in your beak, and you think that you will kill the fire. He kept on laughing. The bird kept on running towards that with one answer, that I am doing my bit.
Wow, I am doing my bit. Yeah.
So I ask everyone, everywhere in the world, are you doing your bit?
True.
Are you making a child smile?
Yes. And it should not be a large, it could be a very small
Very
investment.
simple thing. I said that you can be a changed person. You can change the world with just one simple thing. Start loving your neighbor's child.
True.
Start loving a child whom you don't know. Start making a child smiling who is unknown to you.
Mr. Satyarthi, I would like to ask about your dream for the children of this continent. I remember your line in the Nobel lecture again. I was very much impressed. I was very much inspired with your speech, so I have a few lines, quoted some lines. Beyond the darkness, I see the smiling faces of our children in the blinking stars.
Of course, I see.
Mr. Satyarthi, I would like to ask about your dream for the children of this continent. I remember your line in the Nobel lecture again. I was very much impressed. I was very much inspired with his speech, so I have a few lines, quoted some lines. Beyond the darkness, I see the smiling faces of our children in the blinking stars.
Of course, I see. I can see now that every Nepalese child is enjoying the fullest of her childhood, his childhood. Mm-hmm. No Nepalese girl is missing. No Nepalese boy or girl is taken to other places for work. Everyone is in school, in playgrounds, jumping, learning, playing, loving, caring each other. We wanted to see this Nepal. We wanted to see that India. We wanted to see the whole world like that. Mm-hmm. I wanted to see a child-friendly Nepal. Mm-hmm. And to begin with, I wanted to see a child-friendly constitution in Nepal. Mm-hmm. With a sense of urgency, a child-friendly constitution with a sense of urgency. I have met the president few minutes ago, mm-hmm. and he shared the same views. He is also looking for a great, good constitution as soon as possible. So, children of this country are looking mm-hmm. for that.
From the very beginning of the campaign, you against child labor, you started in India, particularly the campaign against the child labor in carpet industry got a lot of attention in news coverage. Can you tell us about your rescue, how that operation was done?
All the operations are like that. Normally the parents inform us or come to us. Sometimes their relatives or friends inform us. And a few times we also come to know through the media or through other sources mm-hmm. that the children are entrapped at some place. They are confined to workplaces. Then we make plans to rescue them, mm-hmm. and these plans are always kept very secret, because if the word goes out, then within no time we could be attacked or the children could be removed from those workplaces. So we have to be very careful about it. But I believe in the principle of non-violence, always. Though these people take out the gun, sometimes they try to kill me. I have my broken leg, I have my broken backbone, I have my broken shoulder, I have my broken head. You can see scars on whole my body. But
and even the members of your family, team.
Yeah, my family, my son has a lot of serious injuries on his backbone. His lumbar 2 and 3 is slightly ruptured. All these things happen. But we never believe in reacting mm-hmm. and retaliating in the same manner. Because violence is endless. Once you enter into the vicious circle, or I would say the spiral of violence, then it becomes endless. So stop it there. The violence only could be won mm-hmm. through love and peace, which I tried to. I don't hate those people who are doing all these things. I hate their crime, I hate their sin, I hate their act, their mm-hmm. deeds, mm-hmm. but not them. As Gandhiji always taught people like us that hate the evil, mm-hmm. not those people.
True.
So I try to practice a little bit on it. I can't say with fullest authority that I'm practicing all those things of Buddha and Gandhi and the great people, but I try to learn some. So then we also respect the laws of the land, mm-hmm. international laws and treaties. Mm-hmm. So when we rescue the children, mm-hmm. it should be under the ambit of the legal and constitutional framework. Okay. So we don't do anything which is unlawful.
Okay. So and what's the next step after the children are free?
Then they are taken to rehabilitation programs, and of course we try to make sure that they are properly reintegrated in the families and the society, and they should become their own liberators and leaders in the future. So we are not doing any charity to the children, as I said before. I don't believe in that. I'm doing charity to myself every time when I help a child.
Can you tell us something
so
about...
we can finish it now because...
one last question.
Yes,
I know
sorry
you
about it
asked,
because...
just few minutes. Can you tell us about what...
You have a lot of...
Bachpan Bachao Andolan, and how was an electrical engineer inspired to be a child activist?
I was quite passionate about children, most deprived children and the issues like that. Then in my childhood, in my student life, when I was studying engineering, and I also worked for 1 year or so, I was involved in similar activities. But we have no clear path because child labor was not an issue. It was a serious problem, but it was not an issue in India or in my knowledge anywhere in the world. So all the international programs of UNICEF and ILO and others started much later. So there was nothing much to learn except some readings from the medieval age or some debates from the European parliaments and so on. But so no NGO, no legal structure, nothing. So it was hard those days. But Gandhiji said one great thing about the people like us, maybe 70, 80 years ago. He said that first they ignore, then they laugh, then they fight, and finally you will win.
Wow.
So we are on the path of winning. Thank you so much.
Thank you once again for representing the sound of silence, the cry of innocence, and the face of invisibility. I borrowed these lines from your Nobel speech. Thank you, Satyarthi, Mr. Satyarthi. Wonderful having you in the show.
Thank you. Lovely. Thank you.
Namaste.
My pleasure to be with you.
Thank you, sir. हवस् त आजका अतिथि नोबेल शान्ति पुरस्कार विजेता कैलाश सत्यार्थी सहित तपाईहरू सबैलाई धेरै धेरै धन्यवाद। टफटकका विषयमा तपाईको कुनै सल्लाह सुझाव वा प्रतिक्रिया भए हाम्रो इमेल ठेगाना हो toftalk@news24nepal.tv। तपाईँ यो कार्यक्रम युट्युबमा पनि हेर्न सक्नुहुन्छ र फेसबुक पेज टफटक विथ दिल भूषण पाठक र ट्विटरमा पनि आफ्नो प्रतिक्रिया पोस्ट गर्न सक्नुहुन्छ। अर्को हप्ता अर्को नयाँ विषय लिएर आउनेछु। आजको अङ्कबाट बिदा दिनुहोस्। नमस्ते।